Where are the kids going in this case? With the mother or with the father?
Some of them are adults, they are free to choose.
Is there infidelity involved?
No comments. But
So we file ho gaya divorce?
obvious, Vicky, that
The alimony? It must be huge. I mean, it's Saira Rahman at the end of the day.
yeah, but it's also Saira.
What I have heard is there are some family issues between the two.
I don't think I'm at liberty to comment.
The woman in this case is pained more than the man.
No, that's not true.
I am with advocate Vandana Shah.
Hello.
And I think by this time everybody has heard this name and maybe even seen her in camera. Welcome to my show, the Vickey Lalwani show, and well, of course, we are going to talk about the legendary A.R. Rahman's impending divorce, let's say, because I think it's very clear that if they have come out in the open, and you have also given a statement out that the reconciliation is not possible.
Actually, Vicky, thanks for having me on your show. And this show was long overdue. And I have not said that reconciliation is not possible. I am an eternal optimist. And I always talk about love and romance and all such good things. And I've given out a joint statement. The joint statement is quite clear. It talks about pain at separation. It talks about it's a long marriage. And a lot of thought has gone into coming into this decision. But nowhere have I said that reconciliation is not possible. No, and I like the fact that you have said that it's an impending divorce. So here we are, talking about it. And of course, when it's a long marriage, there are many, many issues in a marriage. And like in any other marriage, whether it's a long marriage or a short marriage, there are a number of issues. Each marriage comes with its own pluses and minuses. And it's with its own ups and downs. And, like the Supreme Court says that there is a normal wear and tear of marriage. And the marriages should subsist. And when it becomes beyond a point of the normal wear and tear of marriage, it becomes an irretrievable breakdown of the marriage. And it becomes irreconcilable differences which may lead to a divorce.
So there is enough wear and tear in this marriage. A.R. Rahman and Saira.
There must be, considering that they have chosen to file a joint statement and through the offices of Advocate Vandana Shah and Associates. And Vicky, I want to put it out there that this is really the first time that I've actually sat down and said, I'm speaking on behalf of the clients because it's a joint statement that's pulled out. And I usually never ever discuss who my clients are, what is their level of confidentiality, who are they, what are their names. Over a period of 15 years, I may have given millions of interviews, but I have never ever put their names out there. But obviously something has gone wrong. That is why we are at this stage of an impending divorce, borrowing from your word.
Let me ask you straight that did they just barge in one day or you just got a sudden call, in other words, or was it happening since some time? And you knew it was in the offing.
In a long marriage, nobody takes a sudden decision. It's not like a breakup that you were going around with somebody for 3 months and now you've decided that, okay, this person is no longer in my life. So I'm just going to block you and you're off my social media. You're off this, you're off that. No, it's never like that. In any long marriage, it takes a long time to come to that decision. And especially in a country like India, where we are a very pro-marriage country. We are not a pro-divorce country. We are a pro-marriage country. Everybody kind of is excited when a wedding or a marriage takes place rather than when a divorce takes place. So no one just barges in. It is a very well thought out with a lot of consideration given to the various facts that are involved and which leads you to coming for a divorce. And it's not only theirs, it is over a period of time, whatever are the high profile and other divorce cases that I've handled, it is the same for all of them.
So कितना time पहले पहली बार बात हुई थी before they went into the official joint press release?
A while ago. I don't want to give out
5 months,
actual
7
reason.
months, 8
I
months.
don't want to speak about that. I don't want to speak about that because I think that would be an invasion of their privacy.
You tried counseling them?
Of course, I counsel everybody who comes. You know, I
And they
always
went and tried out the...
I counsel everybody who comes because I feel divorce, even though I may say that I'm one of India's topmost divorce lawyers, but I always say that reconciliation should be your first step.
They went and tried it out?
I'm sure they listen to me.
Okay, but they failed.
You know, so because when reconciliations don't work, that's the time one looks at a stage of a divorce. You know, so I think if counseling works, people don't come into me, you know, after that, even though I recommend counseling, you know, so it's obvious, Vicky, that something has not worked out.
So we file ho gaya divorce?
No, it's impending. It's impending.
Okay. And if I ask you what's the reason, that what I have heard is there are some family issues between the two.
Obviously,
Very strong
it's a family.
family issues.
It's a family, so there will be family issues. You know, I think what goes on in a marriage, the husband and the wife and the children know best when there are children involved. And more often than not, it is the couple that knows best what is working in the marriage, what is not working in the marriage. And at this stage, or maybe even at a later stage, I don't think I'm at liberty to comment as to what worked in that marriage and what didn't work in that marriage.
But tell me, when you get these cases, high profile cases, or even actually the common man, is it only the couple who comes to you? Or maybe in this case, if I can ask directly, do the families also come to you? Do the children also come? When you talk it out?
It's that's a really
the whole
good
process.
question. That's a really good question. Because no one has asked me this question.
I hope it will be answered because you've been drifting every hour.
You know, it's so what happens is that a lot of times, you know, usually if you are abroad, you can only have that person as your client as it is in India. But in India, in divorce cases, by and large, a lot of the family members are involved. And it is, I always say that, I said in India, like we have Band Baja Bharat, the same it is in a divorce. It's like a Dhoom Dhadaka divorce. You have everybody who is a part of it. I have had, in this office, I've had brothers who've come in. I've had cousins who've come in. I've had children who've come in.
Right from the first visit?
Yes.
And in this case? Now don't brush off the good question.
That's a tough one to answer, but you have also asked me, and so I'll let you draw the sort of conclusion from that.
Because when I said families initially,
you know, so I just feel that yes, families do get involved, families do come in. Sometimes they may not come in. You know, nowadays everybody's on the phone. You can have a telephonic conversation. You know, but I think in India, divorce is a family decision. It is hardly ever an individual's decision. Even if it is an individual's decision, the families get involved. Nowhere. I've done divorces in UK. I've done divorces in France. I've done divorces in Italy. But nowhere have I seen the level of involvement that we have in India as a family for a wedding and for a divorce.
Where are the kids going in this case? With the mother or with the father?
Not yet decided. We have not yet, you know, come out with all of that. But I think some of them are adults, you know, they're free to choose who they stay with.
And the alimony must be huge.
No comments about the alimony. Now you tell me you're saying no comments. But it's true, no comments.
It must be huge. I mean, it's Saira Rahman at the end of the day.
Yeah, but it's also Saira. I mean, she's not a money-minded person. You know, she's been a good wife. She's been married for 29 years. We've never heard about Saira in the public space in a very loud sort of a manner. You know, she has been quite a private person, as has Mr. Rahman been.
Vandana, I may be wrong here, but from the press release, which I read,
Both the single and the joint.
the single one, I would say, because that came first. And when you read the first one, I don't think the second one registers as much as the first one does. It seems that the woman in this case is pained more than the man.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true. I think the husband and the wife in this case, they both have had their fair share of pain. I just think that women as a nature are more expressive. You know, I mean,
And a man tries to be diplomatic.
not diplomatic, you know, it's just that boys don't cry. Kind of a thing, you know, it's always like that. And I don't think those stereotypes have changed across the world.
So this press release is also a classic example of that.
Yeah.
Both have undergone a lot of suffering and
Yes. Yes. And but the joint press release does speak about his pain. And I think he's also written about it beautifully in his tweet. You know, where he talks about love and he talks about God and he talks about wanting to. So, you know, one can read so much in that. So it doesn't have to be written explicitly that I'm going through pain. But when you have a hope that I hoped to have 30 years, you know, that is painful enough.
Is there infidelity involved?
No comments. But knowing both of them, I don't think we should even go in that direction. I don't think we should even go in that direction.
Okay. I'm just pointing out one thing because initially in your earlier interviews you said a flat no. And now you're saying no comments.
I mean, no comments means it is a flat no. Because so many people have asked me that question. I said, no, not at all. In fact, that rumor which is, you know, I think about that poor girl, you know, who's also going.
A colleague of his.
Yes, you know, who's going through that divorce. You know,
so people put two and two.
Put two and together. So I was actually telling them, I said,
that is he involved with her?
Yeah, you know, so I was giving this example to everybody. I'm a big fan of Rafael Nadal. So tomorrow he says, I'm divorcing and I say I'm divorcing. Does it mean both of us are getting married? You know, does it mean that? Or does it mean that we both have been in this situation? Even I know Rafael Nadal. So does it mean that? Or tomorrow I remove my ring, you know, and someone else also removes their ring and both of them see us together. So, I mean, you'd be like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of people
we draw inferences. You've seen actresses if she's unmarried and if she has a sindoor, you know, in India they say, okay, has she married?
Has she married?
She got married. Secret marriage.
You know, I mean, I wish at least a rumor had some weightage and had some meat on it, so then you can at least address it. But sometimes the rumors are so ridiculous that you say, oh my God, what are they even talking about? Is this even a question? You know, so I just say I'm going to use a legal term that I'm going to treat it with the contempt it deserves.
So has Saira shifted to Bombay?
Saira is around Chennai and Mumbai. Let me put it like that.
She's shuttling.
Shuttling.
So, is there also, I mean, you know, we see marriages flopping,
breaking,
failing, breaking, undergoing a lot of toxicity. Almost everywhere, in every sphere.
Every sphere.
But is there a certain ratio or a percentage where Bollywood is more than the Aam Janta?
I would say that Bollywood gets scrutinized more.
That is fine.
Okay.
It will get scrutinized.
No, but...
they themselves are now putting themselves on Instagram. Scrutiny will in fact be more. They always complain that they are getting scrutinized, but look at the amount of pictures and videos they are putting on Instagram. They are bound to be watched, right?
Yeah, but the thing is that, you know, there is something also which is I may choose to put out only this much. So, and then I say you can come into this much. But I do not give you a right to come into every sphere of my life.
Fair.
You know?
Fair.
So, coming back to your primary question. Is it from whatever I have seen? I actually find that people in Bollywood are not as toxic as what are the stories I see outside.
Okay.
I find them a little more caring. I find them a little more civil. I find them a little more sort of artistic, in the way they treat each other. It may not be as per their partner's expectations, but I don't find that much of crudeness when I'm dealing with their cases, because sometimes when you see the cases outside, I see a lot of crudeness, I see a lot of hate. It's just that those don't get scrutinized, and these come under scrutiny, so let us forget the scrutiny for a second. If I was to see 2 divorce petitions and I was to see these 2 couples and I had to choose between them, I would go Bollywood anyway and any day. Like there are...
That's a good big point you're making, because sometimes the perception outside is that these guys are still amicable. They're going to movies together with their kids. They are faking it.
No.
How can they be friends? They are doing this for the cameras. But then what you're saying is throwing a lot of light on the fact that they are far more
evolved in dealing with these situations.
Adapting to the change.
Adapting to the change,
accepting
and saying that, okay, let's make this work in a way that it is best. And of course, one always keeps that in mind, that of course, and then again, I'm coming back to scrutiny, because maybe if they were not like that, they'd get scrutinized more. So they feel that this is the best way to be. But you cannot fake it for that long.
Tell me one thing. A Bollywood couple comes to you. How much of security is down that they don't get spotted?
They don't get spotted.
The car comes into your office.
See, till date, no one has got spotted.
And they come right here.
When we announced the split, did anyone get spotted? So no one gets spotted. And that is the beauty of providing confidentiality to your clients. And I think that's the reason why I'm sitting where I'm sitting. I feel very confident about that. I feel very proud about my work, because I've conducted it with a lot of integrity and with a lot of care for the client. So I feel very proud about my work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vandana. I'm sure a lot of lawyers must be calling you after this announcement.
Actually,
and
Vickey,
trying to check with you, what happened, this, that.
Actually, Vickey, I have not even had any of my lawyers calling me and asking me what is happening. So, that is the fact of life.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vickey.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.